What's the Big Secret? Written by Laurie Krasny Brown and Marc Brown. Talking about sex with girls and boys. Are boys and girls different on the inside? How do you tell girls and boys apart? Do girls and boys have the same feelings? Is sex a dirty word? Where do babies come from? What does being pregnant mean? How do you get a belly button? Tell me about when I was a baby. From the moment your life begins, you are either a boy or a girl. How do you tell boys and girls apart? How do you tell for sure? Is it their names? Girls and boys do have different names, sometimes, but not always. Is it their clothes? Boys and girls do wear different clothes, sometimes, but not always. How about their hair? Girls and boys do have different hairstyles, sometimes, but not always. Maybe the way to tell them apart is how they play. Girls and boys do play in different ways, sometimes, but not always. Both girls and boys sometimes like to feel their own strength or be on a team. Other times they may prefer quiet play. All sorts of toys, games, and activities appeal to both boys and girls. Can you tell them apart by the feelings they show? Maybe boys are not supposed to get scared, for they might be called a sissy if they do. Maybe girls are not supposed to get mad, for they might be called too wild if they do. Not really. Both boys and girls have all kinds of feelings. Knowing your feelings and learning ways to express them is part of growing up. Actually, the only sure way to tell boys and girls apart is by their bodies. If you're a boy, you have a penis, scrotum, and testicles. If you're a girl, you have a vulva, clitoris, and vagina. These male and female body parts that show on the outside are called your genitals. Boys' genitals are easier to see than girls', but both are equally important. Boys and girls also use the toilet differently. A boy urinates through an opening in the tip of his penis. He can stand and aim his penis toward the toilet. A girl sits down and urinates through an opening inside her vulva, called the urethra. You may hear all kinds of words used to talk about girls' and boys' genitals. There are personal names, silly names, even rude, insulting names called swears. Some of us don't know what to call them. Find out the correct names for as many parts of the body as you can. It's natural to be interested in your own body and how it works. After all, nobody else in the world has a body exactly like yours. You're one of a kind. You're unique. You may be curious about how other bodies look, other boys or girls, or even your parents, especially the parts usually covered up by clothes. Just remember that everyone's privacy needs to be respected, including yours. Enjoying your body and the way it feels is an important part of being alive, no matter how old you are. Some parts of your body are more sensitive than others. Do you feel more when you touch your elbow or your lips? Touching and rubbing your genitals to feel good is called masturbation. Some of us try this, some of us don't. However, it's best to do this private kind of touching off by yourself. Touching others is just as important, whether it's hugging your parents, wrestling with a friend, or shaking your teacher's hand. Touching brings you closer to someone. Whoever you touch has feelings too. If someone doesn't want to be touched, then respect his or her wishes. Don't do it. From the moment a new baby is held and cuddled, she begins to learn how good it feels to be close to someone who loves her. Everyone needs good touches to feel loved and happy. If you want a hug, you can say so. But no one has the right to touch you in a way that feels wrong or uncomfortable. If you don't like the way someone touches you, speak up and tell him or her to stop. If that doesn't work, tell your mom or dad or another grown-up. Your body belongs to you, and you should say who touches it. All living things, plants, animals, and people, make other things that are just like them. Cats have kittens. Dogs have puppies. People have babies. The sexual parts of girls and boys are made differently so that when they grow up, they are able to create babies and become parents. However, not every grown-up is a mother or a father. You can be a woman or a man and not be a parent if you so choose. It takes both a man and a woman to make a baby. Inside a woman's body are tiny eggs, smaller than a dot. A man has an even tinier sperm. When a sperm combines with an egg, this now fertilized egg is the beginning of a new baby. The change that takes place when a sperm enters an egg is called fertilization. All boys and girls begin life this way. Imagine that. Usually the sperm and egg meet during sexual intercourse, when a man and woman fit his penis into her vagina. It feels wonderful to share this special closeness when you love someone. Adult male inside view. Inside the fertilized egg is information about how to shape this new life. These instructions, called genes, decide such things as a baby's skin color, the shape of its hands and feet, and its sex. Because genes come from both the father and mother, a child resembles each of its birth parents in some ways. Adult female inside view. Very slowly, over several days, the fertilized egg travels into the mother's uterus or womb. There it will grow and develop, first as a tiny embryo, then as a fetus who looks more and more like a baby. The womb is a perfect first home. There the developing baby floats safe and protected inside a clear sac of warm liquid. Food and oxygen flow from the mother to the fetus through a flexible tube called the umbilical cord. Back through the cord travel the fetus's wastes, which are carried away by the mother's blood. It takes a fetus about 9 months to develop into a fully formed baby. When a mother has a baby growing inside her uterus, we say she is pregnant. When a baby is ready to be born, muscles in the mother's womb begin to tighten and relax, helping her push out the baby. In most births, the baby comes out the vagina, which stretches to let it pass through. Out comes the baby at last. The baby takes a first breath, her lungs open, and she lets out a cry. What an exciting, joyous event, the moment when a baby is born. Once the umbilical cord is no longer needed, it can be cut. The place where it was attached becomes the navel, or belly button. Now the newborn baby is a separate person. From the moment your life begins, you are growing, on the outside, on the inside, in your own way, at your own speed. When you're older, maybe 10 or 12 or 14, your body gradually will change and your sex organs will develop. Going through these changes is called puberty. But for today, enjoy being the girl or boy you are right now, with a body, mind, and spirit all your own.